Hello, everyone. You are watching Metro Morning Manna with Pastor Carl Brewer. We continue our study of the story of Genesis 18, where Abraham and Sarah received these three guests into their tent. The three guests have a message for Abraham. Verse 10, Genesis 18, verse 10, it says, "Then one of them said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son." Now, Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent. Behind him, Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself. She thought no one could hear her. And she thought, after I'm worn out and my Lord is old, talking about her husband, will I now have this pleasure? Then the Lord says to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now that I'm old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, I didn't laugh. But he said, yes, you did laugh. And we already studied about Abraham and how whenever he was afraid, he would lie. That was his natural way to respond. Apparently, Sarah did the same thing. She gets caught in a tough situation, and what does she do? She lies. But not only does she lie, but when she hears the promise that God is making, she says, there's no way God is going to do this. There's no way. She doubted the promises of God. But the encouraging part of the text is that even though she doubted, even though she lacked faith in God, even though she struggled and lied, yet God still fulfilled his promise. Brothers and sisters, God's promises are not always dependent on you and I trusting and believing that he's able. God fulfills his promise because God is able, not because we believe he's able. God's promises are sure even when we doubt them. And the great news is that Abraham and Sarah are considered the parents of the faithful, even though they themselves were often faithless. They got credit as the father and mother of the faithful. Just want to remind us, God is faithful even when we doubt. Even when we lie and make mistakes, God is still faithful, and God will fulfill his promises in us and through us. God bless you.